Hello everyone, welcome once again. Today we will continue with our literature, and in literature we will learn about our chapter that is a poem. Okay, and the name of the poem is A Little Grain of Coat. So before starting the poem, let us start with the introduction of our poet. Okay, who is so poet of the poem is very important as he is the only person who is providing us the poem, right? So here you can see a picture of the poet, and here also is a picture. So the first one is a portrait and the second is the real picture of the person. And if you can identify him, it is well and good. And if you don't know the name of this person, so let me tell you, this person is Honorable Mr. Rabindranath Tagore. So Rabindranath Tagore is a very famous personality in in the era of or in the we can say that in the society of literature, okay, English literature. So this person has written many poems, short stories, dramas. He's a painter also. He's multi-talented. So let us learn. So first we will learn about the poet. So the poet is Rabindranath Tagore, who was born on May 7, 1861, who is known as Rabindranath Thakur in Indian languages. Okay, the Indian in the Indian language, his name is written as Rabindranath Thakur. He was the first Indian to win the Nobel Prize. Okay, a multifaceted personality means he was a multitasker. He has done many work, multiple works, multi-talented person he was. Tagore was a writer also, musician, painter, and educationist as well. He was genius as a writer. His works include poems, short stories, plays, and critical essays. Okay. He composed our national anthem. You must be aware of that our national anthem, Jan Gan Mana. It is written by this person only. He is the composer of the national anthem of ours. He founded the world famous educational center, and the name of that educational center is Shanti Niketan. His Nobel Prize winning compilation is Gitanjali. Gitanjali is a very famous book of this person in which many poems are there. Is a collection of songs celebrating the glory of God. Okay, songs in the form of poems he has written. Okay, and those songs are related to, they are about the celebration of the glory of God. Okay, so this was all about the poet. Now let us learn something about the poem. So the poem A Little Grain of Gold is taken from Tagore's, means Rabindranath Tagore's book Gitanjali. Gitanjali, that is why I have introduced the name of Gitanjali to you. And it is song number 50 in this particular book. Okay, this book is containing more than 100 songs. So this is 50th song in it. It sounds simple but conveys a valuable message. It highlights the virtue of giving. The poet effectively conveys the point that giving should come before taking. Okay, means the poet is saying that through this poem that we should think about giving to others in spite of thinking of taking from others. Okay, it is very good, bacha, if our hand is always there to give others in spite of taking, right? So thus it requires a remarkable and universal appeal that every person should try to understand. Now, one popular saying is also there that God gives, gives and forgives. Man gets, gets and forgets. Okay, so it is all about the giving nature of God and the forgetting nature of man. Okay, so let us continue now. Firstly, I will recite the poem for you. Listen to the poem carefully, and after that, we will start with the explanation part. So, your poem is I had gone a begging from door to door in the village path when thy golden chariot appeared in the distance like a gorgeous dream, and I wondered who was this king of all kings. Sign of exclamation is there, as you can see. So it is a sudden expression of this person, right? My hopes rose high, and methought my evil days were at an end, and I stood waiting for alms to be given unasked, and for wealth scattered on all sides in the dust. The chariot stopped where I stood. Thy glance fell on me, and thou camest down with a smile. I felt that the luck of my life had come in at last. Then of a sudden thou didst hold out thy right hand and say, what hast thou to give to me? Ah, what a kingly jest was it, to open thy palm to a beggar to beg. Again, a sudden expression is there. I was confused and stood undecided, and then from my wallet I slowly took out the least little grain of corn and gave it to thee. But how great my surprise when at the day's end I emptied my bag on the floor to find the least grain of gold among the poor heap. I bitterly wept and wished that I had the heart to give thee my all. Okay, so this is your poem. So let us now continue with the explanation part. Now I will explain you the poem by one paragraph. So your first paragraph is that I had gone a begging from door to door in the village path. As you can see that it is written that I had means who is the speaker in this line? The beggar is the speaker. Okay. The beggar is the speaker in it. So I had gone a begging from door to door in the village path. So the beggar is saying that I had gone out for begging from door to door. So I had gone a begging means I had gone out to beg or I was begging. From door to door, he was going to beg for some money or for some kind of help in the village path when thy golden chariot appeared in the distance. Okay, when thy golden, what is the meaning of thy? Thy means your. Okay, when thy golden chariot appeared in the distance like a gorgeous dream, means he was so happy to see that chariot appearing in front of him, as he was just dreaming of finding some very wealthy person and helping him, right? So he was very happy to see this. So it was like a gorgeous dream for him. And I wondered who was this king of all kings. So king of all kings means as the name suggests that king of all kings means somebody who is greater even than the other kings also. Okay, as why he was thinking him as a king of kings, because he was traveling by a gorgeous golden chariot, right? So he was thinking as that this person is very wealthy, and he was taking it as a gorgeous dream of his to see that chariot and that man. And I wondered who was this king of kings, and he was just wondering, thinking about that who is this king of kings. Okay, let us go to the next paragraph. My hopes rose high, and methought my evil days were at an end. So, and now just see that how happy the person is. He was just daydreaming over there that my hopes rose high. He was just hoping, in a very high level. And methought. What is methought? Methought means I thought. My evil days were at an end. Okay, means he was thinking that his evil days was about to an end. And I stood waiting for alms to be given unasked. Okay, and he was just thinking that he was standing over there and thinking about the alms. Alms means some kind of money and some kind of help from the person. So he was thinking that his evil days at an end. Evil days means the bad days. Okay, the bad days when you are suffering from poverty. So days of depression due to loss of courage and hope and poverty. So, and I stood waiting for alms to be given unasked, and for wealth scattered on all sides in the dust. Okay, so he was thinking that I was standing over there waiting for waiting for something means waiting for some kind of alms or some kind of help from that person to be given unasked. Unasked means without asking for that thing. Alms to be given unasked means to give money by the person, or kind of help without asking for that. And for wealth scattered on all sides in the dust. All sides in the dust means there will be so much money that is scattering all over the ground over there. Okay, so he was just daydreaming that this person will help me without asking for the help from him, and he will give me a lot of money, and that much money that all the money will be scattered over there, or lying over there on the ground. Okay, he was that much happy, and right now he is just dreaming. He has not received or got anything from that person, but he was just thinking about it. Okay, now uh, the chariot stopped where I stood. Okay, means when he saw that person from far away, he was just thinking about what will happen. And when the chariot stopped where I stood, means the chariot stopped where I stood, the chariot stopped where he was standing at that particular time. Thy glance fell on me, and thou camest down with a smile. Okay, thy glance fell on me means he saw me, right? Glance means sight. His sight fell on me, he saw me, and thou camest down with a smile. Thou camest means you came. Thou means you. Remember it. Thy means your. Thou means you. Thou camest means came down with a smile. Okay, means you came down with a smile. I felt that the luck of my life had come at last. So, what he was thinking, that the luck of his life was in front of him only. Okay, now he is going to be very lucky. Then of a sudden thou didst hold out thy right hand and say, then of a sudden thou means you, and then of a sudden thou didst hold out thy right hand. What is the meaning of it? That all of a sudden what he saw, to his surprise, that you held out your right hand. You held out your right hand and say, what did he say? What hast thou to give me? What hast thou to give me? Thou means you. What hast means what do you have to give me? He was asking for the help from him. In spite of giving him something, or in spite of helping that person, that man, that rich man was asking something from that poor beggar. Okay, so obvious the beggar was very surprised. Why this person is asking for help from my side? So So the next paragraph is, Ah, what a kingly jest was it to open thy palm to a beggar to beg. Okay, so sign of exclamation is here. So you can see obvious the beggar is very surprised that how a very great king is asking for help from me. So what a kingly jest. What is a kingly jest? Kingly jest means a great joke. Was it to open thy palm to a beggar to beg? What is the meaning of thy? Thy means your. So means how big joke it is, how great joke it is that you are asking from me. You are opening your arm in front of a beggar to beg. I was confused. I was confused and stood undecided. He was saying that I was confused. I was in a great confusion that why this person is asking for money from me, and stood undecided. Undecided means he was unable to decide what to do at that time. Okay, and then from my wallet I slowly took out the least little grain of corn and gave it to thee. So least little grain means least little grain, the smallest little grain that was there in his bag. He has taken out that and he has put that little grain in the hand of the king. Okay, so and then from my wallet I slowly took out the least grain of corn and gave it to thee. Thee means you. Okay, so I have taken out the least means the little grain and I have given it to you. Okay, thee means you. Now come to the next. So, but how great my surprise when at the day's end I emptied my bag on the floor to find the least little grain of gold among the poor heap. So he was saying that when at the end of the day he reached his home and opened his bag and emptied that bag on the floor to find out that what he has earned for that particular day. So to his great surprise, what did he see over there? He saw that there was he find a least little grain of gold over there among the poor heap. What is heap? Heap is an untidy collection of objects placed haphazardly upon each other. Means when something is not in a maintained way, means something is scattered here and there, not in a managed or the means proper way. So that means it is called a heap. So he was to his great surprise, he saw that there was a little grain of gold over there in that particular poor heap. I bitterly wept and wished that I had the heart to give thee my all. Okay, bitterly wept means he cried badly. He cried badly and he was just wishing that how good it will be if I will give you the whole amount and the whole thing that I was having at that particular time. What will happen if my heart will be that much big to give you, to help you out at that particular time? Means the little grain that he was given to, that he has given to that king, is converted into a grain of gold. Okay, so he was just thinking, if I have given the whole amount of my grain, means the whole grain to that person, I will receive a heap of a large amount of gold in the place of the grain. Okay, so means here he was very sad for his greed. Okay, for his little heart, he was very sad at that time. So give thee my all means give you all, means give you my everything. So he was thinking at that time ki how good it will be if I have given you everything of mine, and if I have given everything of mine to you, I have received a lot in return. Okay, now we will learn about the central idea of the poem. So as we all know, Vicha, that in our life nothing is permanent. Okay, everything is there. There in this earth is perishable. Everything will come to an end one or the other day. Okay, so we should help others in spite of just thinking about our own self only. So in this poem also the poet is saying about that we must help others, and we must have learnt about the we must learn about the willingness to give something without expecting any favor in return. Okay, in this poem we have learned what we have learned, that we must be having willingness to give something to others without any expectation from others in favor, that you will, if you will give something to them, you will receive something better from their side. So this thinking should not be within us. We should think about helping others without thinking of getting something. Okay, this poem signifies the attitude of giving instead of receiving. Okay, so this poem tells us that we must be having an attitude that tells us that giving is better than receiving. Okay, so we must have an attitude of giving instead of receiving from others. We always receive more than we give. Always keep this thing in your mind, bacha. We always receive more than we give. Okay, whatever we will give to others, God will help us in a better way. Okay, so be positive and try to help others. Okay, think about others also. Do not only think about yourself. Thank you so much, children. So go through the poem, and if you will be having any kind of doubt, you can ask me in the class. So take care of yourself. Goodbye.